24 Savage, what's up, man? Alright, guys. Hello. Welcome. There are a number of things to talk about, but I'm a little scared. I'll tell you why later. You've summoned me. What's up, Eldon? Phil? Ooh. We have a Duke Nukem reference in chat. Alright. Alright. What account am I on right now? Well, everybody, this is Lore Please, my guideless Iron Man. That doesn't mean that we are... Deo! It's not evening. Wait. Ooh, it's afternoon, though.
Alright.
Good evening, good sir.
What's up, man? Good evening. Thank you for being here. I'm wearing desert robes. Things have happened on the account. I've been casually training. I literally trained for like 2 days. So let's look at the stats. Boom! They've exploded since I've last been on the Guideless Iron Man. Went from 1 to 40 agility. Lost the motivation, or didn't think it was worth it to continue training agility until I got over to Canifis. To get over to Canifis, I need to beat all of the free-to-play quests so that I can then do Priest in Peril to get to Canifis for Marks of Grace. I could keep training agility. I kind of am. But I want to get over to Canifis for Marks of Grace. So I'm at 40 agility. Meanwhile, I got a lot of other skills, like from level 1. I was level 1 fishing. You know, that bumped the cooking up as well. We trained a little bit of magic, a little bit of prayer. Went from level 4 range to 21. Trained some combats up. Trained thieving. And here we are. 18 crafting as well from level 1. From level 3 or something. So, last night I did an experiment. Or, I don't know. I had just done a few other grinds, so I wanted to try another one. That experiment or grind was Agility Pyramid. I want to get at least 10k. The last time I went to the pyramid last night, I tried to do a lap. But, alas, a full inventory of skins, a full inventory of cakes. I got so close. I was 2 obstacles away. But I could not complete the pyramid. We're going to try again. In our attempts, we're going to make it to level 41 agility and have just a smaller likelihood to make it up. Halfway through, I remembered, hey, aren't you more likely to beat obstacles if you have high run energy? I don't know if that's true. I think that's a rumor. But I went for it, and I actually think I started doing a little bit better when I had a little bit more run energy, but that was probably a placebo thing. Guys, I made a discovery last night. This is a level 2 man with a left-click option of pickpocket. It doesn't change much. But holy cow! Are you... What? By the way, Big Stick, nice to see you again, man. I actually was trying to edit one of my commands on Nightbot, and in big, bold font, your name is on my Nightbot, like, dashboard, because it says you're my top chatter. So, hello. What's the best way to grind from 1 to 40 agility? Is that something you can do in an afternoon? It actually is something you can do in an afternoon. And I didn't think that. I recall the last time I went to the Varrock agility course, it was a horrible grind. And I'm talking about, like, on my main account, I hated it. It sucked. This time, it was so easy. And now I do take back that I went from 1 to 40 in 1 day. I recall I ended up going to bed when I hit 37. So, you know, maybe a day and a half. But what's the best way? I'm not really sure what the most efficient experience per hour is necessarily. But it depends on your goals. And one of my goals is to afford Graceful. So I went and did... I prioritized rooftops. Who knows? Rooftops might be the best way. I don't know. So I ended up with like 38 marks of grace or something like that. So I went to Gnome Stronghold for 1 to 10, Drainer, here, and Varrock. And that's how I've trained agility. What's up, Blonde? Yeah, I agree with you. That's what I did. Alright, so what I'm doing right now is pickpocketing a man. I'm trying to buy myself a 10k GP golden ticket. And to do that, I need 205 GP for an opportunity. 5 GP for a Shanty Pass to get through. 200 GP to travel to Polnivnich and then walk down to the agility pyramid for a chance at 10k. And then a repeatable 10k. But once we hit that initial 10k, I won't have to pickpocket this man anymore. Because this is my entire gold stack. Now, why would an Iron Man need money? It's honestly not for like any big reason or big plan. I just figured I kind of wanted to casually do this on the side while we talked about other stuff today. And hopefully not die. There were a couple of times where I accidentally chanced it last night because sometimes you get hit for 10s on the agility pyramid, and someone, I would appreciate it if you looked this up. What's the max hit of the agility pyramid? Because sometimes I would like automatically go over to the next obstacle and I had only 10 health left, and I don't think the damage scales. So I think I definitely chanced my my hardcore last night, and I don't think that's gonna be cool if I lose it while I'm not streaming. $10 is max hit. Thank you, Dio. Okay, I was getting maxed all the time. Okay, I've got the money. I'm gonna walk over to the agility pyramid now. Taking the carpet to do so. I've been playing AFK on my hardcore since What's TBC Classic? I feel really dumb. I can't think of it. Whoops. $60 to $87 woodcutting. Oh, okay, a WoW thing. Good! I'm not stupid. Breeding Crusade. Oh, so like Classic, WoW Classic is getting expansions still? Or like, it is? If that's the case, that's pretty cool. 60 to 87 woodcutting, 50 to 80 fletching. Woo! 4 mil cash. And a bunch of longbows. That's really cool. That's awesome. It goes 4 through 10 damage. 2 of the obstacles hit for 10 as far... Okay, so I hit the same falls pretty often then, because it felt like a lot of the time I was getting hit 10, a lot of the time I was getting hit 8. Oh, probably the really easy ones, like that low little wall that you stub your knee on hits a 4, I bet. The second expansion doing woodcutting and fletch on my second monitor. That's cool. So I have been playing a little bit of Guilty Gear Strive lately. I've never been into other traditional 2D fighters, but this has changed my life. Let's see. If I took this carpet as well, it wouldn't be crazy good, but probably would cost like an extra 200 GP or something. Probably, it might be worth it. Yep, we are on our way to the agility pyramid. I've got a knife here, but like, I don't need the knife. I don't get to use all this water. Yeah, I tried Agility Pyramid last night, and I was just kind of vibing. I was watching YouTube videos and trying to get one, just one. And I made it through the first lap. Fell. First lap, fell. First lap. Second layer, fell. Second layer again, fell. Fell all the way back to the ground. Made it all the way up to like the 5th rung. I was like 2 obstacles away. Fell all the way down. So, didn't work out. Let's hope you get more than 10k. 10k is my first goal here because every time I fail this, I need to restock and get 200 GP. Do I have my attack options? No. Okay, guys, does anyone know about the guy in Alcarid that has no talk option? How many guys, how many men are there that have no talk option that just have a left click pickpocket option? Doing Agility Pyramid pre-58 takes patience. Respect? Don't respect this. This is just like a YOLO. Front hole? Wait a minute. What was our pass together? It was a long and rich one. January, you're such an old head. Oh my gosh. You're a Colton fan. That's who you are. What's up, front hole? Let's go. I don't know if you have any connections with Colton, but I've tried to reach out a couple times. I have no idea where he went. What happened? I have no idea what happened. Was doing a mix of blackjacking and Agility Pyramid to make money before the Burning Crusade came out. Said, F it, gonna do AFK things. I was just blackjacking the other day. It was pretty satisfying. I love blackjacking. But I was like, I can't do this while editing. So, I'm going for like these subtly more AFK options. I did a little bit of Pyramid Plunder again. That's how I got 99 thieving the first time I did it. And it was great. You go to the... I'm like, what am I? 86 thieving right now. And... Oh, Maint! What's up? Nice to see you, man. Hey, big fan. Really respect what you do. Anyway. Am I Pooh's Mario Maker 2 editor? Yes, front hole, I am. Nice to meet you. That's probably something that I transitioned into being since we last spoke. And I've been doing it for like a year and a half now. Pooh mentioned in a video, I was like, wait, oh yeah, he says my name sometimes. That's so sick. That's so sick when I get the occasional Grand Pooh Bear fan here. Then again, front hole, I already had you. Blackjacking wasn't bad on the hardcore. Hated it on the main though, just for 4 hours so burnt. I really love the rhythm that blackjacking provides. I love it. The knockdown, the pickpocket. Maint, what you doing here, man? What's going on? What are the goals in life? Do you just hop around like streamers that are nobodies? Okay, what were we talking about? Okay, years ago, maybe like 8 years ago, 99 thieving was my last 99 in the original RuneScape, and it was RuneScape 2 at the time. Got it from, hey, 41 agility. Got it from Pyramid Plunder. And I loved it. It was great. I really didn't experiment with blackjacking back then. And honestly, I don't think the meta of pickpocketing arty knights was really around back then, or was not as prevalent as it is now. So I was just doing pyramid. Pyramid, and I loved it. When I tried it in OSRS, the last time I tried it, it sucked. I couldn't do it, but I've transitioned again. I'm into it. I've got the patience again. Saw your videos, so I thought I'd come listen to your PvP thought. Oh my gosh. You want my PvP thoughts? That's so funny. Maybe we should talk about it. All right, so Manked is here, hungry to talk about PvP. We've got an expert in chat for PvP, so let me give my amateur's thoughts about the wilderness. The wilderness, a focal point, a historical piece of RuneScape, and it's kind of sad that I have to describe it as a historical piece of RuneScape, because think about it. The wilderness is still here, but no one uses it. My personal relationship with the wilderness used to be a bit of a playground, used to be kind of fun, but now I just go in there and hope to get what I'm like focused on done without meeting someone. But then again, meeting someone is a huge rarity. It's dead. We all know this. I was thinking you have a very different view, so I was wondering what your thoughts were. I don't know which video you saw, Manked. If it was the abusive state of PvP that came out today. It's a clickbait title. I respect, like, however anyone wants to play the game. It's fine. It's fine. But, so the wilderness. What was one of the biggest moments in RuneScape history that so many people can relate to? The thing that caused riots in Falador at one point. Bring free trade back. Bring the wilderness back. Man. We lost it once. And then it came back. But now the year's 2021. No one really cares. I watched the Bodhi video. If anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about, wait, raise your hand in chat. Did you guys see the Bodhi video? It starts, the first two words of the title are controversial opinion. What's up, Speed Wobble? It is really interesting, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, Phil. Okay, yeah, Phil. We do have some non-RuneScape people in the chat. So, Phil, I think that you have a little bit of a history with RuneScape, but Wilderness is the area that people can fight each other in. And as the years have gone on, the Wilderness culture has changed. These days, it's kind of dead. And Jagex is looking for a way... Jeez, I just chanced my hardcore. I guess I didn't chance it, but I had 2 health left. That was really scary. Bodhi's a really respected member of the community. Has one of the largest platforms of all RuneScape creators. He put out a video, and I think that his content is just perfect. I kind of love it. I had to watch the first half second again, because the video starts... I just have to show you. I have to show you. I'm going to work on loading that up. Okay. Someday I'll start a video like this. Where's my music? Alright, turning up the volume so you can for sure hear what I'm talking about.
La-da-dee, la-da-doo.
Okay, it's not necessarily the la-da-dee, la-da-doo, which I also love. I'm going to turn it way up. Okay. When I first turned on the video, I was like, did he really do that? Alright, so as a video editor and someone who puts out polished videos, not necessarily talking about my own, but for my clients, I would not start a video out with... Okay, so, regardless, getting to the points that he made in his video. Oof. I love it. And I'm so happy that Bodhi, with the platform that he has, said the things that he said. And it really clarified a few things in my mind of some solutions that I've always wanted. I see the community now turning and putting a little bit more focus on certain things that I've always had a problem with. I hate bots because I think people that bot are cheating themselves out of a prosperous and a life where they've earned the things that they've earned. But also because bots hurt other people in the form of how they affect the economy. I want noobs to have the opportunity to make money in a cool way. Or I mean, like, not a cool way, in a natural way. I want noobs to be able to woodcut regular logs and, like, make some money. Bots stop that from happening. What's another significant source of things that damages the economy? Well, like supply and demand. When there's too many items, the prices go down. And it sounds like I'm doing a conspiracy theory because of this music. So I switched it. PVM's insane! It's ridiculous. Now, one of the things that comes up in Bodhi's video is he talks about the incentive of why players are out in the wilderness. How do we get players into the wilderness without forcing them? And he brings up the direct example of green dragons and what they used to be like. I love it. He compares it to bosses that have crap drops, but the occasional really good one that makes it all worth it. I love this concept. And I think that we've learned the lessons of what dropping tons of amazing stuff constantly does to the economy. I think it's time we go and capitalize on our knowledge. I love what he said about Zulrah. You leave blowpipe on the drop table, less people will kill it if we take out all the rest of the good stuff on the drop table. Guys, I'm getting really close to the top of the pyramid. And the blowpipe will increase in price. Now, the damage has been done. There's tons and tons and tons of blowpipes out there already. And that's really too bad, honestly. Come on. But I would love an adjustment. I would totally love that. Now, what are you guys saying? Like use back in the day. Right, like so many resources it would apply to. King Black Dragon drops U-Logs, Mole drops U-Logs. It's not just the bots. Right, it is not just the bots. It's a combination of bots and PVM, but then also there are PVM bots. Some things are fine being low in price, but I get your point. Right. And it's fine that things are low in price. You know, you live in your environment and you adjust. You make adjustments. And it would be really annoying. Guys, I'm at the top. It would be so annoying to have lived in the world of RuneScape where you could just buy things. Hey, I made it. First lap. First lap. Nice. Where you could buy things for cheap and then suddenly they made adjustments and things would go like up in price. I think it would make for a really healthy economy and like amazing things would happen. But just like we saw after leagues, when you adjust the game from being easier to harder, the satisfaction decreases and people quit. People take extended long breaks. So that's really tough. Now, so I think Bodhi has amazing thoughts, and I think that they extend beyond PvP. but it really, really would be cool to capitalize on that philosophy. Now, Bodhi's very clear that he says in the video, you know, if we did this, it might kill the game. And it's not a risk that he's willing to take. Respect. I respect that. I'm foolish enough to still want it really bad. Now, can I just, like, read things about the wilderness and go over it one at a time? Guys, is this music annoying? Should we change it? Quit my UIM. 2270? I wiped items. Oh, yes. Hey, I remember that, man. Yeah. That's one big tough grind to go. I remember that. Wilderness changes. June 29th, 2021. No! I'm sorry. This is... How about we just read this one? You know what? Came out today. That's fine. We can compare the old and the new. Dating all the way back to 2001, the Wilderness is the only place where players can engage in PvP combat and gain all the items dropped by their defeated opponent. If you want to test your fighting in metal and scoop up your opponent's rewards, it's the only place to be. One sec, I had a thought. There's this concept. It's one of the points that Bodhi came up. He talked about the ridiculous skill gap. Yeah, it's kind of crazy that the world that we live in these days. 2021, people are getting really good at video games, and it just feels like the focus on prioritizing and practicing things that matter is here. So fighting games they've got all this new technology where they really focus on training the right things. And, you know, it's like good on them. The meta's being pushed. In an MMO, the skill cap of PvP in RuneScape, it's getting to the point where it's insurmountable for people who are just like, you know, not into it. So, what do we do? What do games around us do to make it so that their competitive environment is welcoming to both new and old players? Fortnite has lobbies that go by rank. Is there a way to do that? I had that thought, and then my mind led me straight over to Last Man Standing, and like there is a rank system, you know. But LMS isn't exactly the same. I do think that LMS is an amazing training ground for people that are trying to learn PvP. It doesn't give you everything, obviously, but like, you should go live a little. You know, you shouldn't want to go and master every single thing and not risk anything when you're learning something. It's all good. An ELO system. But then the thing is that if we do have an ELO system in PvP, yeah, sure, maybe there can be like one environment of it. But the thought of being in the wilderness and hunting someone down and chancing on someone that's risking stuff and then overpowering them with the gear that you brought, that is the power of the wilderness. Not people that are queuing up into a rank system. Dude, it's a different feel. You want the wilderness to be alive and real with people. One second, I got added. I think a concern with reducing the speed at which resources come into the game could make a relative slow, grindy game feel even more slow and grindy. Yeah. But overall, agree, the community has to get more comfortable with nerfs and nerf drop tables. Right. It is definitely slow and grindy already. We do live in an environment currently where, like, a single person can go and make a grind of their account. What if it became more of a community thing? You did have to... we rely on other people, like, en masse, but... I don't know. It would be harder. The game would be harder, for sure. Alright, what did Dio say? A friend of mine did 6 hours of Last Man Standing a couple weeks ago without getting a single point. No! No! Because he had PvP before and thought it'd be a way to get into it without risking, but after being for 6 hours straight. He left. Whew. That is pretty cute. Me and your friend should PvP to... What's up, Illusions? Tune in for wrong protection prayers. That's awesome. Shoot, I did not realize I was such a PvP prodigy. Hey, mate. I've got a question for you. I don't know if you want to talk. Or if you're just chilling and relaxing. But it's Tuesday. On Tuesdays, I normally turn on, my Discord and talk to people in voice. I don't know if you want to give like a summary of your thoughts and feelings. I don't know if you have thought about ways to fix the game, but it's up to you. Otherwise, I'll just keep rambling. What were we on? Just suspend rare drops for a month if you're a very young account. Ooh, that kind of sucks. That kind of sucks. It would hurt bots, but how about we just kill the bots? Like, can we figure this out, JX? Can we figure out? Can we just ban bots, please, so that they're not like 60% of the player base? Instead of making it so that new accounts can't get rare drops? I don't like that solution. It would help, but I don't like it. Yeah, front hole. Was there a clip of that one? My summary is pretty much, I think the changes are good for the long term, but it depends on whether JX keeps a close eye on GP per hour, if it's too low to increase it, and for them to add actual new content. I would come on, but if I'm talking for 7 hours already, yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, changes are a good step in the right direction. It's something, but I also have the same negative vibe as Bodhi, where there needs to be like this fundamental change rather than little things here and there. Guys, I got a second one. It's the engine, isn't it? We would need a whole overhaul of the engine to better detect the bots. Agreed with everything Bodhi said. Hey, 42. Yeah. And I particularly love what Bodhi said, not just for PvP, but for the economy of the game overall. But I think the real problem, no, never mind. Bots are crazy what they do. If items were more oh no! Is this the moving one? Where's the moving one? Oh, it's this one. Alright. The bot detector plugin AI is working closely with JagX right now and actually improving bot detection pretty well. I don't think it's an engine thing. I mean, yeah, a different engine would affect things, but we can improve things, and it's happening. It's awesome. So, PvP, like, if we found a way to incentivize it, it would be good. So incentivizing things comes in form of increasing reward or increasing fun. The fun is already kind of maxed out because PvP just is fun. So I think we need to boost money. And that was the main thing that Bodhi talked about, ways to increase money. Can also increase status. That would be an elo system, but it would ruin the point of the wilderness. Deadman mode is basically all singles plus, right? I don't know. It's very hard to make sure someone is botting. False positives are so bad for the player base. Yep. If you go to boss in the wilderness, you are at a disadvantage because you didn't bring gear to PvP. Unless you do. Unless you do. Took me a bit to realize you'd be streaming on both. It doesn't work out perfectly because I think you end up... I do. I definitely do. Yeah. I know what you mean. I need to bring more people into the wilderness. You need to bring more people into the wilderness. And the update seems more for the PvPer than the skiller or the PvE. Yeah. Okay, so wilderness change. Since the release of old school RuneScape, the area has undergone a few changes. Most notably, the Wilderness Rejuvenation projects in March 2014. Oh my gosh, is it really that old? In November 2018, these revamps introduced new bosses, monsters, resources, and activities. No Oxford comma. However, those who brave the wilderness still face some frustrations, and today we're going to look at how we're hoping to address them. It's important that we highlight from the get-go that this blog isn't going to mention adding large pieces of new content. That will come later this year when we tackle the fabled Wilderness Bosses rework, which will include a host of new rewards and more. But that will be covered in a separate blog post. The intention of this blog is to address many of the long-standing issues that have been raised by all types of players, providing a strong foundation for future change that we will build upon. Interesting. New rewards. It's interesting because, like, if we're gonna like update our philosophy on boss rewards, I hope it's not like, oh, these rewards, these new big rewards are these, you know, random big ticket items rather than consistent good cash. Because it's the opposite of what we want for like being in a risky area. Your feedback. Some players, especially those involved in singles team PKing, believe changing all single-way combat zones within the wilderness to Singles Plus will kill it entirely. Our actions. Singles Plus simply removes the priority NPCs have over a player whilst in combat. It does not introduce any mechanics to provide multiple players attacking a single player in quick succession. It's likely that these players are confusing this with an introduction of the PJ timer. Okay. Ah, shoot. Ooh, I actually did miss this message. The best way to describe the current state of PvP is imagine OSRs with solely God Wars Barrows Zulrah as your content. Not many of you would be still playing 7 years down the line. Yep. I think it's so important for the longevity of the game to have a strong arm in PvP. I think it's awesome to have that community there where other people are allowed to dip their toes in or become immersed. I think they're so good for the game. I think it's so cool to have... It's got the highest potential for esports, you know, for all of RuneScape. The introduction of the PJ timer will kill off all the singles team PKing. A large majority of players believe organized groups of players... Okay, our actions. A large majority of players believe organized groups of players have too much of an advantage over solo players in single-way combat. We feel that allowing groups to continue operating in the way they do is not healthy for the long-term success of the wilderness. As such, we'd like to continue with the proposed changes and monitor the impact they have on the overall wilderness activity. Yeah. It is pretty crazy, like, what teams are able to do even in single-way combat. Like, it's okay that things are dangerous in the wilderness, but, it also feels okay that they have an advantage, because, like, They should. They're more people. There's some confusion over how effective the PJ timer will be. This mostly stems from players wondering if the PJ timer will work how it does within the Revenant caverns, or similar to how DMM works. Worlds handle this. We can confirm it will be similar to the timer used for Deadman mode worlds. We will continue to make adjustments to the immunity period where necessary once the changes are live in game. Okay? Sure. There are fears that boxing will become a big problem. Oh, sure. Yeah, with the introduction of a PJ timer. We're aware of these concerns and will make appropriate changes to combat them where required. For example, it will not be possible to enter combat with an NPC whilst in combat with another player. It will not be possible to engage in certain skilling activities whilst in combat with another player. This includes, but is not limited to, laying traps, offering bones, fishing and mining. Now, I'm not aware of what that means. Like, what's the point of stopping that? Bones, I understand the incentive there, but do the other ones, like, cancel PJ timers otherwise? Freeze an attack last, and you should be able to log. I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, things that break immersion seem pretty lame. So if you're able to run away for whatever it is, 10 seconds from a PKer so that you can log out, or you can like hop stairs up and down to log out to get away safely, that feels so lame to me. I think that if you're in the wilderness, you should be prepared to stand your ground, and that would be really cool. I think that'd be really fun, rather than just like relying on ragging or running away and logging out. I just think that's like so not real, and you're cheating yourself out of a true experience. Though I do it because I don't want to lose my stuff. I'm usually prepared to run or die. Yeah. I think that should somehow, you should somehow be forced to do that. Like, what if you're not allowed to like log out in the wilderness? I guess that would stop people from world hopping looking for prey. The way to solve all activity issues within the wilderness is adding new hotspots that offer lucrative reasons for the players to go there. Okay. Jagex says, we've tried this in the past, and whilst these updates do absolutely increase wilderness activity, the approach is rather short-sighted as it does not address the underlying issue a large majority of players have. Nice. This is what we see with this kind of approach. New update comes out offering lucrative rewards. Players flock to the areas to reap the benefits. Players quickly grow tired of being deterred from fighting back or getting piled on by multiple players in single-way combat zones. These situations do not provide any opportunity for the players to fight back fairly. These players stop going to the area because it's no longer worth their time. What is left is a situation where new players have no interest in going to the wilderness because every time they do, they're highly likely to be piled on by multiple people in quick succession in a single-way combat zone. New PKers face the same problem. Any fight they get into in a single-way combat zone, they have to assume multiple people will log in and attack them. With no new players or no PKers entering the wilderness, the food chain is broken, overall activity drops, and new content is required. Maintaining consistent content updates in order to increase activity is extremely resource intensive, and long-term, the negatives of this appear to outweigh the benefits. By focusing our efforts on resolving the underlying problems a large majority of the players face, we're hopeful that over time there will be a more natural increase in wilderness activity. The survey and years of community feedback suggest that players would spend more time within the wilderness if fights were fairer for solar players. We can build off this with future content updates also. By having a clearer distinction between single and multi-way combat, updates now can be tailored to the area they're in, and with the knowledge that many players spending time in these areas are doing so because they want to. Yeah, that's so good. And, you know, this actually... Bodhi talked about fundamentally changing drop tables and things to change incentive, to make things lucrative in the wilderness. That's pretty much on the same lines as this, and I think Jagex is responding to that same thought and saying, you know, it really doesn't work if the mechanics are broken. So let's fix the mechanics. And I really like this a lot. So yeah, ways to make singles more fair, even if clans are on you. The PJ timer. Why haven't we had this forever? I don't see how it's a bad thing not letting a team take turns speccing someone into singles. Yeah. If they want to go as a team, then go multi. Bro, nice. I like the idea of being able to fight back without fear of ending up 4 people taking turns. No logging out in the wilderness. I like that idea. I think it's interesting. How about, like... Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, no logging out in the wilderness also stops people from, like, staring at their minimap, waiting for a white dot to appear, and then, like, quickly logging out to stay safe. Because that's pretty lame, too. Like, immerse yourself. Have an experience. If single ways were fair, then that would be cool. Imagine a wilderness. Ooh, imagine this. Imagine a wilderness that was all multi-way combat. You're not allowed to log out. So if you want something, you need to get a group of friends to duke it out. Now, I think that clans would really easily start to, like, control all the hotspots, so maybe that's not fun either. But that's kind of interesting. I think the original RuneScape Classic, I'm not 100% sure of actually these mechanics, but I think original RuneScape Classic came out and the whole world was multi-way combat, and the whole world was the wilderness. And, like, there's a few safe spots like the Lumbridge Castle. Personally, I would be very much in favor of having a clear line between singles and multi, and a way not to push people into multi. Yep. For people not too familiar with the wilderness, there's no clarity on when multi starts. Yep. Maybe have tiles that bonus attack, like chess pieces. I feel like you are trying to turn RuneScape into dungeon dice monsters now all of a sudden. In WoW, if you're in an unsafe area, it takes 20 seconds to log out. Something like that, I think, would take... Oh, yeah, would be fine for the wilderness if you're looking for an open world for a boss. Wait a minute. Okay, that's such a good idea. And I'm so happy that we're, like, brainstorming right now. If you're not allowed... Not being allowed to log off in the wilderness is lame. But, like, how about you click the log out button and it takes, like, an entire 20 seconds or, like, an entire minute. That would stop people from playing defense, staring at the map, waiting for a white dot to appear, just like instant log out. That's lame. I like that solution a lot. The problem of not being able to log out in wilderness would also take out hoping to look for open world or looking to PK. I didn't quite understand that. Would also take out hoping to look for an open world or looking... Yes, I agree. And did we just solve that? It would be way harder to find people and whatnot if you had to wait like an entire minute, but it wouldn't be impossible. So if you can't log out, this will also mean that you can't world hop. Right. So it's harder to get snuck up on. It would be. Oh, yeah. You know what? I guess you would just go to a hotspot and then, like, world hop into them. Because you go to some other world, you as the PKer just calmly go... And then, boom, suddenly you're on them. Iron Man, free world to crash, easy to find worlds. Wait, explain again, Dio, are you saying it sucks for Iron Man? Jocko, what's up, man? There's already the home teleport animation, which could be repurposed for a logout. Ooh. How long is that one? But yeah. Deadman mode has a 10-second logout timer. There you go. They already have the solutions. I think he's saying irons are free worlds, so just crash them. Oh, I see. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Manx gives us the real information. It's actually a 7-second timer for Deadman mode. We've got the solutions. Let's use them. I like that, though. Would there be anything bad about that? Okay. Feedback. Players who focus their efforts on multi-combat activity within the wilderness are unhappy with the lack of content updates targeted towards them specifically. Jagex says, we're aware this blog does not contain mention of adding large pieces of new content. This is why we addressed this at the very start. Okay. All right, guys. We got you. More content will be coming later in the year. Okay, blah, blah, blah. In the meantime, the changes to the Wilderness Slayer Cave may cause an increase in activity, providing a more popular hotspot for multi-way combat teams. All right, yeah. Hopefully. Some clan leaders are unhappy we did not involve them in discussions regarding the contents of the blog, and if we had done so, we'd have known these changes were not something that they want. Okay, so Jagex is like specifically addressing some little complaints here. Not too interested. We got left out. We should trial these ideas by taking this hardcore into the wilderness. Right. So if we took my hardcore into the wilderness, we could do some really good PvP tests. 13.2 seconds is the home teleport animation. 22 game ticks. Are you some kind of freaky genius, Jocko? Thanks, that's cool information. I'm out of food. This is my last opportunity to try to get a full lap. You just have this sinking feeling whenever you jump over that gap. Like, you know you're gonna fall. Oh, there's a chance. There's a chance. Oh my goodness. Could you explain the singles plus versus PJ timer situation that was on Twitter today? I read it all, but I'm still confused. Let's look at it. You don't... Hey, guys. Mank is chilling. We don't have to ask him. Let's see, let's see. Should I go to Twitter? What tweet should I look at? Let me know. Hey, great way to end the trip. Throw it in Discord, Speed. Singles plus and PJ timer are the same. But they were basically saying singles plus only refers to the NPC priority thing, and the PJ timer is simply an additional thing not associated with singles plus, even though in the Revenant Cave they were added at the same time. So everyone assumed singles plus was NPC priority and PJ timer. Okay. That sounds like a really solid explanation. Finally got my first money on the hardcore. Yeah, it sounds like a lot of people were confused because they had to address it. I think everyone assumed singles plus was PJ timer. What's this thread? Gotcha. What even is blog? There's literally two back-to-back contradictions here. First it says we aren't getting a PJ timer, then it says we're getting a PJ timer similar to DMM. It's not to introduce any mechanics to prevent... I didn't read it that way. It does not introduce any mechanics to prevent multiple players attacking a single player. Yeah, I didn't read that there. I didn't read a contradiction into that. All right. What are those marked tiles? Are you talking about the ones in Lumbridge? That's something that we're totally bringing back. Those are still marked from when I was putting the name of the person who subscribed to me on the tile that I was standing at the time, and gift subs also counted. So when I logged into Lumbridge one day, someone gifted like 10. I think it was Discord Wolf. Discord Wolf is splashed around my Lumbridge spawn. So, now that I've been reminded, yes, we're gonna do it again. Subs get their names on the ground. All right. The problem was one update, one name, and it's actually 2 bundled effects happen at the same time. Right. Not a tick genius. You became a tick genius very quickly when you searched it on Wiki. Okay, so but yeah, my philosophy is just overall, I wish people would immerse themselves into the game and have a good time. You can't get people to do that, so you have to work around other things like giving them incentives to play correctly. And in an MMO, the incentive usually comes down to money. I think money has been in a tight spot in the RuneScape universe and economy for a while, and I think the largest contributor to money strains and supply strains are bots. And I talked about that earlier. So I think solving bots would solve a lot of things. And then I think making better decisions around limiting supply chains of tons of resources, including like alkables, which would keep GP amounts down, would help this a lot. I think even without changing anything in the wilderness or PvP mechanics, that would help PvP a lot. But also changing PvP mechanics is good. But I think we need to fix money. I think that we need to fix supply and demand. I am also scared, like Bodhi, that fixing supply and demand could kill the world. I think it might result in this. It would kill a number of established players who are used to the amount of dopamine that they get from doing a certain activity. But if a new generation of people came up and lived in this world, I mean, what if we had like a fresh economy, you know? That the game would be just as satisfying as it was with lower amounts of things coming in, and it would be healthier for a long amount of time. Maybe we could even get to the point where it was so healthy that it was just indefinitely going to last. Because we're always... Am I going the right way? Right there. Because we keep on being scared that our game's gonna die. And that might not be an issue. I don't like Last Man Standing because you can't smite. Seems like people could still team on people in singles plus. I think that there's always going to be ways to team on people, but I think this makes it more difficult. They gotta change it all. Make it evolve. Call it evolution of collecting things. Ooh. And like, we could call it EOC for short. Wait. Wait, that sounds like something that they've done before. Okay, guys, welcome to We Talk Now. Does anyone want to talk to me on Discord? Looks like we've got the voice channel set up. I want to talk to you. So, if you've got a question, and you know what? It can be PvP themed. It could be anything. It can be about life. It can be about RuneScape. And guess what, everyone? I am scared of this. And that's why I'm doing it. I'm scared that someone's going to come in here, ask a really hard question, and I'm going to look like a complete idiot. But you know what? I think that has happened already on this segment. And we're doing it anyway. I also believe that it's okay to be stupid, because the more people watch you, the more time people spend with you, the more they like you no matter what. Can you link me to the Discord? Yes. Type !Discord. Boom. Dio, gotcha. Also, there's a Discord link in the About section. It's on the right side. I think that there's a link there. But there's also a link to my Twitter. You might want to follow that. And I would appreciate that. Because people look at your number of how many followers you have, and then they assign more value to you in your mind. So you can make me legitimately cooler very quickly if you follow me on Twitter, and I would appreciate that. It also helps me find new work faster and easier. Credibility. Thank you. Also, I've got a new video. It's called The Abusive State of PvP, and it was recorded before these wilderness blogs came out. All right. I'm muting my my audio. Big Stick, I saw you. You were about to go in there. Someone else got nervous. Okay, Big Stick got nervous. I scared him away. We need live conversation. And by the way, your question doesn't have to be good. You don't have to be well-spoken. Whatever. I'm not going to make fun of you. Does anyone want to ask a question? Oh, you're at work outside. Dude, let's hear it. I want to hear how bad your sound quality is. Okay. Okay, so welcome to We Talk Now, a RuneScape advice server? I'm reading menu options. A RuneScape advice show where we get to talk to people and hear what their questions are, and let's just ponder it for a second. Now, today, joining us, we have a man named Big Stick Stew. Big Stick, how's it going? I hope I don't have you muted. I think I should be able to hear you right now. Ah, shucks. Okay, Big Stick, here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna go back into the waiting room. I'll drag you over there. See if anyone else can hear you or if it's on my end. In the meantime, Third Age Corn joins us today. Third Age, what's on your mind? Let me know.
Hey Brian, can you hear me well?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly. What's up, man?
Awesome, nothing much. Just enjoying this Tuesday.
Wait a minute, I just couldn't hear you. Say that sentence again.
Actually, I should have to mute the stream so you don't have an echo.
Yeah, we don't want that. Okay. So, what thoughts are you having, Third Age? What's going on?
I think a good topic would be, what are your thoughts on pulling very minor things to the community, whereas Jagex could just be empowered to make the decision on their own without being at the whim of the community?
I love that, and I feel like you're pulling my vocabulary because I find myself using the word empowered a lot lately. I think that you already know what I'm gonna say. But can you come up with any like specific examples lately of poll options that they've given?
Yeah, I've been out of it recently.
Sure, sure.
Waiting for like, I know there's been some big updates like the work TOB that have been, incentivizing me to come back. But I've been staying away, so I haven't really seen a lot of the recent polls. Uh, but I used to read the patch updates every week, and I would see some minor things hitting the polls, and it's like, come on, like I know like we want to keep Jagex on a short leash because we've seen them mess up so badly before, but I feel like we have to give them the leash back. Otherwise, when people complain that they're not delivering updates quick enough, it's because we're putting them through this bureaucracy.
Ooh.
Powered a little bit more.
Yeah, I love that thought. Okay, yeah, that's really awesome. I feel like I don't actually know if this has been ever polled before, but when they need to ask like, should we fix the dialogue in a quest, like a typo here and there? Yeah, they should definitely be empowered to do that.
I think of that one time they put it in the patch notes that they changed the name of the lobster pot, and people freaked out. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that at all. Are you saying that this story happened? That like they did it without asking, and the community didn't like it? How long ago do you think this was?
Maybe 6 months ago. Does anyone in chat realize that? Remember it? It was.
Blonde says it was a few months ago. So what did they change it to? Like, did they capitalize pot or something? What happened? Cage.
Oh, it was lobster pot versus lobster cage.
Yeah. Which I just realized, why the heck was it called a lobster pot? Is that
yeah, I don't know.
Is that a UK thing or what?
UK and their levers singing, "Don't pull the wilderness lever."
You definitely look at that item, and it's a box shape with bars on the outside, and that's not a pot in my mind. Wasn't there a duck they named at Felder Park named after a streamer, and that wasn't pulled? I don't remember that either. Fishermen call them pots. Do these pots like actually have a different shape, or are they actually cages? I don't even know. But yeah, I think you make a good point, and I think that you explained it perfectly, and I think that you were very well spoken about it already. Like, yeah, certain things we don't need to have polls about. I think that they're already making mistakes where a successful poll option doesn't necessarily mean that like it was the best for the community. Something hits 75%, yes. Well, maybe most of the people that voted that day don't care about the long-term effects of the game, which is just generally human psychology, and just wanted like buffed drop tables or something. Well, you know my opinion on drop tables and how they should always be like nerfed and everything. But yeah, I don't think necessarily a community vote is a guarantee that things are correct to do. And yeah, I wish that I did have just like more examples of the small stuff. This would be a great video. I'm going to write this down. Stupid poll options. A history. I love that. Okay. Third Age, do you want to talk about anything else or not? I didn't kick you out or anything.
I should get back soon. I'm in the middle of a work day, just sneaking off working from home. But
Ooh, I love
thanks for having me, and I'll definitely try to tune back into more of your streams. I first found you out from, was it the first leagues, or maybe it was
It
more
was
on...
likely the second. I think everyone found me from the second.
Well, what was the one when I watched you live when you were doing your whip grind and you had your girlfriend get it?
Are you serious? Yeah, I think I remember your name from like forever ago now that you mentioned that. And she was already my wife at that time. But yeah, that was Twisted League.
Yeah, that was Twisted League. That was the first one. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh my
In the
gosh.
OG days, yeah.
All right, you're an old head. Fine. Okay, so then I can kick you out with no remorse or anything. Okay, next up on the show, we've got Speed Wobble. Hey, Mr. Speed Wobble, thanks for joining me in my streams lately and being a great chatter. Now, I want to hear what's on your mind. What thoughts do you have?
Yo,
What's up, man?
so I'm wondering, what would get you to go in the wildy?
Oh, I love that question. You know, we've been talking about PvP based things today. What would get Brian into the wilderness? You know, I hate to say it. I hate to say it. Cause I've brought this topic up before, but I'm also against it actually being a thing. But I do think that it would be an elo system. And I don't okay. So I'm also aware that not everyone plays games with elo systems. Speed, do you know what an elo system is?
Yeah, I play some MOBAs.
Nice. Yeah, and it's pretty common for like a lot of gamers and whatnot. Like, and chess and Smash Bros. Melee is getting it soon. You know, cross fingers. Been hoping for that for a while. Fighting games have it. I I think that I would be one that would go into the wilderness for the sake of status. If I could get a bigger number than average next to my name compared to other people, that would do it for me. Because otherwise, I'm not one that generally goes for GP grinds. I haven't had like a want for GP for a while. Like, I don't have a billion or anything, but it just doesn't really incentivize me. So if we had something equivalent, and I'm going back to the Bodhi video here, if we had the equivalent of green dragons these days, I don't know if I would do that. I wouldn't want to be like prey. I wouldn't want to be lower on the food chain. I kind of feel bad about like going out and attempting to hunt people and kill people. So running out there to go and be the predator, I think I would literally feel bad and like end up giving people their stuff back. I think that the only thing that it would that would do it for me would be an elo system. But
Okay, so yeah, there's good things and bad things about elo systems, right?
yes, yeah,
Like
go on.
it should make more fair gameplay, especially for better players. They can more accurately, reflect their skill level with the elo number.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone's got to start somewhere. So, like, off the get-go, you're going to be fighting someone who could be really amazing or really terrible. And then also there's the issue of smurfing.
Mm-hmm.
So you make a new account to reset your elo or purposefully die to tank your elo. So you can, again, prey on the noobs.
You're so right. Yeah. And so suddenly, do you have to come up with systems that combat smurfing and all this? You know, it really kind of sucks that we play a game that's just filled with other people sometimes. But also, it's the beautiful part of the game. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
like-
right. I think the
So-
biggest problem with an elo system is that it turns the wilderness from an organic wilderness of possibilities where you live in like this barren wasteland that has this chance for rich rewards but also scary people coming up on you. It turns it into a fixed system where you're going in like with a queue up system and you're going to go fight someone. I think the wilderness is really cool when it's this place you can really experience the fear and dopamine of like going in and living.
Yeah. Like, if you wanted to play a really safe hardcore account, if there was a way to tank your elo down, I guess you couldn't tank it down unless you
Oh.
died.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Maybe there'd
But
be
you
some
could
other
play a
way to
very
do
safe
it, but-
account with a very low elo,
Mhm.
and then no one good could ever attack you.
Yeah. Well, how about
But
how about elo doesn't necessarily you know how in the wilderness you've got the level range and you can attack people within a certain level range. Let's just say that elo doesn't limit who you can attack in this situation, but it's still based on levels rather than elo.
Okay, so it's just to better identify what kind of opponent you're going up against.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Yeah. So the same, like, people can attack each other. Then again,
Interesting.
it could also result in, like, oh, I'm going up against a 1900. I'm obviously going to run as fast as I can.
Yeah.
How about we make it hidden? We'll put it on the high scores. If people are sweaty, they can look it up. But it's not like it's not in the right click option or something.
That'd definitely be cool.
Yeah. Okay.
I also wanted to share what it would take for me to go into the Wildy.
Yes, please.
And so I'm almost a max player. I'm like 2270 right now.
Congrats.
And we are getting close to maxing. Once I do, I can, I guess, start finally playing the game.
Finally. How
And,
long has your journey been? How long have you been going for this?
My account has like 7,500 hours on it.
Totally. Few work years.
I'm not
in
a
there.
very efficient player.
I love that.
I've also played all the leagues, and I've played a couple Deadman modes.
Nice.
But I'm
You're
bad at
living
PvP.
it.
I'm terrible.
No shame.
But what it would take for me to go in the Wildy would be, to be confident in my own skill. So I'd have to go and train. I'd have to go to LMS, finally get a win. And then I'd also have to have enough disposable GP that I can go and die and lose it and not care that much.
You've got a 2-item checklist. A little bit of skill.
Pretty much, yeah.
And some disposable income. Disposable income to the point where, like, it's like a relative thing. It's disposable for you. It's probably
Exactly,
a lot
yeah.
higher than other people's disposable income.
Yeah, like, I'd rather keep, all the gear so I can go raid with the boys, stuff like that. But still have enough to go lose some, some mystic sets and ballista or something.
Yeah. So if we think about what you said, like, how can we apply that to the wilderness to make it so that other people join?
Thanks for
What's up,
subscribing,
Bridge?
man.
Thanks for priming.
All right.
Raising the skill level.
Lichcorn just subbed.
I think the same thing where, like, I went to LMS to train up my PvP. And for me, I think it worked. And it grew my love for it too, as well. So I think LMS is already a viable option. It already exists in the game. So there's nothing to change. And then having disposable income, I guess there's ways to make money, and there's nothing to change. So you could go in the wilderness like tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm getting pretty excited, to be honest.
All right, sick. Well,
All
cool. Any other thoughts?
If you guys aren't already following WeSkill Now on Twitter, on Twitch, and if you're not in the Discord, you guys got to do that right now. Get on it.
This boy, I kicked him out. I mean, I did let him get all the way through the pitch, but I kicked him out. Yeah, Speed, great talking with you. Thanks, wholesome, well-spoken man. Loved it. Hey, Emily, welcome home. All right, anybody else? How much time have we got in this stream? Let me think about the time. I've got a couple of meetings coming up. Hey, Web, by the way. What's up, dude? Okay, guys. I know that not everyone that plays MMOs also plays fighters, and I used to not play fighters as well. I've been playing Smash Bros. Melee for a decade, but some people in the fighting game community don't even call that a fighting game. It's different. Guys, a friend made me play Guilty Gear Strive with him, and I accidentally fell in love. I was like, but wait, I don't know how to practice this game. I don't understand it. What's going on? I tweeted a couple days ago, does anyone want to teach me Guilty Gear Strive? And that path led me to Mr. Wembembo right here, who makes YouTube content himself. He's just like, hey, he doesn't know who I am. We sit in a voice chat for like an hour or something, and he just teaches me Strive. And it was so fun. So thank you very much, Wem. Thank you. I play Tekken 5 on PS2 occasionally. Ever played that? No, I haven't played any 2D traditional fighters until Strive, which came out like less than a month ago. Content is a stretch? No, you're a great editor and you put passion in like a video essay that you wanted to share with the world. And you totally made content. You absolutely did. I watched the whole thing. Tekken isn't a traditional... Oh, Tekken's 3D, right? Is Tekken 2.5? It's like Soul Calibur. I don't even know. Tekken's fully 3D? I didn't know that. I'm sorry. I should know that. When you... Okay, but when you think about Soul Calibur, what is Soul Calibur? I played a little bit of Pokken. I didn't think it was that great, but I also didn't like get into the mechanics very deep. Fell in love with like Soul Calibur 2, like in a casual sense. Guys, I've got a story from Soul Calibur 2. One day... okay. I had played Soul Calibur 2 here and there growing up. It's the one with Link in it. Link's randomly in Soul Calibur 2. And then, like, Soul Calibur 3 comes out and they've got, like, Yoda and Darth Vader and whatnot. Okay, so one day, I start playing Soul Calibur 2 with my dad. And so we play here and there, whatever. It's fun. And then there's, like, this hiatus. And we played, like, Soul Calibur 2 together, like, couple times a month for, you know, here and there. One day, I'm like, hey, let's play Soul Calibur 2. And he's like, all right. I remember in particular, there is a mode where you choose a team of 6 characters. And it's pretty much a crew battle, but it's just 1v1. It's a crew battle. You take 6 characters each, and it's a team. Guys, I destroyed my father in Soul Calibur 2. And I made my own father rage quit Soul Calibur 2, and he just never played with me ever again. How did I make him rage quit? I didn't lose a single character. I just put my best character out front and beat his entire team. And that was too bad. So I feel bad about that. I don't want to make people rage quit in fighting games. All right. You don't need to turn in pyramids one at a time. You can bulk them. Okay, you know what? Thanks for telling me that, because I thought about stopping mid-sentence and asking that one time. Because I recall, and this must be a false memory or something, but I tried to bulk them once, and then when I went back to the top of the pyramid, it was still empty. Do you think that that means that, like, does it only refresh when you slide down the slide? Is that the thing? I must not have done that. Your dad gets so mad playing games? I know. Yeah, video games are real games. As well as Mario Kart Wii. Yep. Yeah, Link and Rory. Yeah, Link UIM was in Soul Calibur. It's so sad Pokken bombed the way it did. I had so much going for it. It did. I agree. YouTube, am I ignoring you? Most can PK, the high skill level gap, somewhat true, but overblown in my opinion. I think it could be overblown. There's a lot of people that are very, very, very good at PKing, and you're likely to not learn very much for a significant while you're first learning. So, it's a source of frustration. And I think one not to be overlooked. Like, I think that if I went and tried to grind PvP, I would have the mentality and fortitude to do it. But new casual players who aren't dedicated to the game, who don't have experience with learning PvP, who haven't had as many trials and hardships and frustrations in life, might not be as committed and might just quit. And what's the point? We're trying to create a filter that will bring people into the community. and high skill PvP is going to keep them out. Righto, I'm off to practice Guilty Gear. If you ever want games, let me know. Totally. I'll try to get better, and then I'll hit you up. Then again, I know that that's a trap where, like, I'll never hit you up, but yeah, I should just go grind with you. It refreshes when you slide down, so if you teleport out after grabbing it, it doesn't reset. I probably did that. You ever think OSRS has a skill gap? Try a rating with We Skill Now. If you ever don't think. Wow. Huh, if we put it that way. Yeah, because, like, it shows that there's skill cap because of, because you, like, see my nasty clicks, and it's like, whoa, I could never be... Never mind, moving on. Practice is practice is practice. Any improvement is good. See you at Evo. Dude. Evo's not gonna have Melee ever again. If I went to Evo after Melee was gone and I never went to Evo when it was there, what kind of a person would I be? They should make an OSRS PvP training room where you can practice moving and switches, and it can tell you feedback on how you did. That's absolutely so smart, because we've seen the exact same thing and how it affected the Melee community, Luke, which I know that you're in. Fighting games have training modes. PvP RuneScape could have training modes, and it could give you direct feedback on if you were a tick late, blah, blah, blah. You could learn the muscle memory. That'd be really fun. It would give players who know what they're doing an even bigger advantage because, like, they would suddenly have this tool. And if you know how to grind, you could do it. The problem is the people that would benefit from a training room also benefit from just already knowing how to practice and get good at games. So we would need, here's the solution for this. We would need a training room. There's a plugin that shows how many freezes you were supposed to hit versus how many you did. As well as how many times you hit them off prayer and how many. So like at LMS, this is already a RuneLite plugin. It gives you feedback on your LMS games. Ticks, missed, average switch speed. Nice. Cool. All right. Yeah. Imagine an actual arena of in-game content where you go in and you get to fight against this, like, Varrock guard. Not Varrock, because those are ugly. A Falador guard. And it gave you in-game feedback of how good you were at PvP. And you could go up in levels. And increasingly stronger and stronger NPCs made you better at the game. What if it was not just a RuneLite plugin? What if it was in the game and there was a little Game of Thrones style little arena that you could get better in? Imagine. What could that do? Dude, no, Varrock guards are the ugliest NPCs in the entire game. I never understand why they are a thing. And I wish that OSRS was from a stage of the game before Varrock guards were updated. Top 10 ugliest NPCs in RuneScape. That's a tad different from training mode. Well, what if it wasn't? What if, like, I said some flavor things, but then it just wasn't different from training mode? Well, everyone, with an eye to the clock, I think I should go. I think that I want to accomplish a few projects before my meetings tonight. Tonight! If everyone wants to know about my life, I'm going to birthing class. Need to learn how to give birth. It's gonna be great. I wish I was still in the state before my body updated. But yeah, sometimes you cannot just wish whatever you want and have to go with the flow. Yep. So I'm learning how to get onto the table, lift my legs up, produce life. In for a wild evening, everybody. I think that's it for the stream, and I'm happy to have made like 70k GP during it. I honestly think that the agility pyramid reward of 10k per lap is so big for a relatively low-level character that it's pretty wild. Then again, there are plenty of other things that give tons of GP as well. It doesn't need to be nerfed. Whatever. It's fine. Thought I noticed a bit of fat adding on your body. I didn't want to assume you were pregnant. Yep. Silk is faster? Ooh. I should get some silk. Okay, everybody. Fun stream. Thanks. We had a celeb in here. And am I going to be a dad? Yes. I should make that a video. Wait. Giving birth or top 10 ugliest NPCs? Okay, guys. It was fun. It was fun hanging. We'll see you later. Bye-bye. I don't know if YouTube stopped.